You told us in your poll that you're interested in study abroad. So we're now going to show you a couple of videos from study abroad providers who have actually managed to incorporate sustainability and climate action into some of their work. And if you have got any questions for Julian O'Shea, who provided one of these videos, I believe he's online and already actively chatting. So you can get your questions ready. Okay.
In January of 2020, Global Experiences launched its Green Initiative. The purpose of this initiative is simple: become carbon neutral by 2025 in response to the overwhelming global climate crisis. To begin, we determined that our main focuses would be, first and foremost, offsetting the flights of all interns on our programs by supporting diverse climate projects, and second, adding a green education to the intern experience, from start to finish. We believe that in a world where our individual and collective actions make a difference, it's our duty to implement green and sustainable practices wherever possible. We hope that interns are excited to make sustainable choices with Global Experiences, and that other organizations are inspired to adopt similar practices. We calculated that during the spring of 2020, interns on our programs around the world had flights that produced 338 tons of carbon emissions. We then offset these emissions with the purchase of carbon credits at no additional cost to the interns. The projects we chose to support are reforestation in Australia, safe water access in Rwanda, and wind power in India. We're proud to help interns reduce their carbon footprints and prioritize sustainability through these important projects. As for the green education part of our initiative, we incorporated resources for interns to use throughout their programs. Their pre-departure orientation contains resources about how to be green in their cities, how to pack and travel in a more sustainable way, as well as how to reduce and recycle while abroad. Upon arrival, their orientation emphasizes these key topics and engages them with green challenges throughout their time abroad. While our green initiative is just getting started, we're so excited to see where it takes us and to continue adding new processes to meet our challenge of carbon neutrality by 2025. In the words of our founder and CEO, Global Experiences was founded to make the world a better place, and we can no longer deliver on this vision without a serious commitment to protecting the environment.
I'm Julian O'Shea, and I'm the CEO of Unbound. We're a social enterprise that leads international education projects around the world, and we have a passion for sustainability and community development. So something that we give a lot of thought to is our climate impact, and it bothers us about how many emissions and flights we need to do to deliver our work. So we've been giving a lot of thought on what positive impact we can have in this space. And our biggest and most ambitious project yet had its inspiration, quite rightly, while leading a global program in Thailand. Anyone that's been to Bangkok has probably experienced the chaos and the joy of tuk-tuks as they zip their way through the chaotic streets. And that's where inspiration struck. Our goal was to design a literal vehicle for change, something which would address mobility, an important part of the climate change equation, by creating an alternative. A zero carbon, silent, emission-free vehicle to tell the story about the positive impacts that we can have when designing solutions to climate change. So working in partnership with RMIT University and a group of engineering students, we designed this vehicle. Powered by the sun and able to plug into the wall to use renewable energy, the Solar Tuk is a vehicle that has the ability to communicate the positive solutions to climate change in a way that's not wonkish or confrontational. So after we built this incredible vehicle, we went on a journey, an outreach adventure from Melbourne to the Great Barrier Reef, driving at a top speed of 50 kilometers an hour to engage with communities, school groups and the media to talk about climate change in a positive and upbeat way. Our voyage started from Melbourne and we made our way through Victoria, travelling through the small towns and rural areas of the state before heading to the coast, driving through our nation's capital, up into Sydney and north. Now, our goal for this was to both communicate our own story of innovation, design, technology and solutions, but also to get young people in the community thinking about their own local solutions. Along the way, we met with amazing organisations that are doing brilliant work in their own community, from renewable energy to sustainable design. And we found there's a lot of passion for this issue and that people are open to new ideas and new approaches. For us, it was a chance to tell a story in a unique and interesting way, to reach these parts of Australia that we wouldn't normally travel, and to show that sustainable transport is a viable option. If we can make our way from Melbourne to the Great Barrier Reef, then people can absolutely get around their neighbourhood and to shops and work in an electric vehicle. Now, the technology performed remarkably well. With a Tesla battery in the back and a positive attitude, we made our way the entire length of the country. Now, the only limiting factors were high heat in Queensland due to the weather, due to tropical storms and washed out roads, and finally bushfires. And I think there's something poetic in the fact that the technology is there, the will is there, and the only things that held us back were weather conditions due to climate change. So I urge all international educators to think about their work. Think about what their skills, knowledge and talents are and how they can help create their own vehicle for change.
Thank you very much indeed for that. Well, I think we have our new slogan for the event, be a vehicle for change. I love that line, and I love the Tuk Tuk project and the other project that we heard from there with Global Experiences. So we've already heard from a range of different players in international education, people who are working to incorporate climate issues into study abroad programming or to offset and reduce their own emissions. And we've also had an overview of how climate crisis is playing out and might affect international education overall.